This is Western Edge Living presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. I'm your host, Bill Polinick. Thank you for tuning in. This is arguably the busiest summer on record here on the Western Edge, with things happening in Medora and the outlying areas feeling the effects of that. Wow, numbers that we've never seen before. A lot of people are coming out to visit, and they are fully aware of that here at CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson, and they've taken steps to ensure the safety and well-being of all our visitors as well as all the people who live here. They've done things like added a mobile medical unit, and they added staff to ensure the safety and well-being of all those out here are in good hands. Another level of care that you can find at CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. This is Prairie Winds Church in Dickinson, North Dakota. While attending services here one Sunday, before they started, I sat down next to a family and started conversing with a young man, and the more we talked, the more I became interested in his story. His is the story of survival. You are going to meet a man who's originally from Arkansas, now making his home here on the Western Edge, and his name is Christian Reeves. And as I said, and I stress, his is a story of survival. And as you hear him talk, once he starts talking about God today, his pace quickens, and you can really tell this young man has God in his heart. Today, Christian Reeves is on Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson, and our program begins now.
CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson presents Western Edge Living.
Western Edge Living.
We are so easy to find on social media. Let's see, we're on Facebook. We are on YouTube, of course. We are on, what is it called now? X. It used to be Twitter. We're there. We're on TikTok. Find us and follow us. We appreciate you watching our show, Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. We are very accessible to all our viewers, so follow us. And if you have an idea for a show, if you have something that you feel is interesting, chances are we are too. So get a hold of us, and you can send us an email or a Facebook message, or just get a hold of us. We want to hear from you, okay? Today we get in touch with a brand new friend of mine, and I don't mean that on social media like a friend on Facebook. I mean a for real friend. We met at, where was it? Prairie Winds Church.
Yep.
It's Christian Reeves.
Yes, sir.
Good to see you, boss.
Good to see you.
Life is good?
It's busy.
Yeah. You know, it's a rare occasion when you sit down, doing what I do, and you converse with somebody, and all of a sudden you think, hey, this guy has a story. You really do have an interesting story, and it started in Arkansas. In fact, before we went on the air today, Christian, you said the last time you were on TV was when your dad was running for mayor at that town in Arkansas?
Yep, Searcy, Arkansas.
Okay, and this was when you were just knee-high to a grasshopper, huh?
Yeah, about 6 or 7.
Talk about growing up in Arkansas. Did you have brothers and other?
Yeah, I got 3 other siblings. My sister, my oldest, she's a personal injury attorney down in Arkansas. My brother's a robot engineer down in Austin, Texas, and then I'm up here, and my sister's in Austin, Texas, with my older brother too. So
you stay in touch with your?
Yeah, I try to.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we all have our adult lives now, so it's kind of touch and go.
Where did you fit in between your siblings? Were you the oldest, the youngest?
I was the middle child.
Middle child.
Yep.
Okay, going to school in Arkansas.
Yep.
Good grades.
Yeah, my mom was my elementary school teacher.
Really?
And when I went into 2nd grade, she became the principal, and she actually just retired. This was our last school year.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
40-something years.
Yeah. Your story really gained a lot of traction with me when you brought up the fact that you spent time in prison, but not in the sense of you were sentenced there. You went to work in a prison when you were like 18 years old?
Yep. So back whenever I was 15, 16, I kind of got into some trouble, went to a juvenile boot camp, like military-style boot camp, and they let us tour the prison and kind of did like a scared straight thing. Well, it kind of worked the opposite on me. It kind of got me away from the stuff I was doing, but I was more interested in what was going on in the prison as far as like how their system is just built, like the security behind it. They are their own town basically. It's kind of amazing.
I asked you a question that what is one thing that we would be surprised to know about a prison? Your answer surprised me.
Yeah.
What was that?
Just the
They grow their own food, right?
yeah, they grow their own food. A lot of farms down in Arkansas and Texas where I worked at, both states have their own system where they grow their animals, their crops, and all that stuff, and then they'll sell it to the market, and then keep a little bit for themselves to feed their inmates and staff there.
So you went to work in a prison when you were like 18 years old, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm sure that we should say viewer discretion advised. Some of the things we may bring up might be a little graphic, but you saw some things in prison that I'm sure not a normal 18-year-old kid would see. Then it was. Is it something that stuck with you?
Yeah, I mean, I took a lot of good things away from it working there, but also a little bit of trauma that went along with it. But I mean, when you step into that kind of world, you kind of have to expect the worst, and sometimes the worst does happen.
What were some of the things that you saw, if you don't mind me asking?
I responded to this dude. He was probably a year older than me. He had like 6 months until he got out. It was chaotic. Everybody started running towards the dorm. When I ran faster than everybody else, surprisingly. I don't look like it, but back then I could a little bit better. Got up into the cell. I thought he was OD'd, and I tried doing a sternum rub, trying to wake him up any way I could, and he wasn't having a pulse, so we started CPR, but he got stabbed to death.
He got stabbed with
It was
handmade shank or something?
Yeah. They found the shank about a week later. The inmate had thrown it out the window whenever he did it and got rid of it pretty good. But yeah, it was about the size of an ice pick, so there was all internal bleeding. There was nothing on the outside. So you see, looking at him, you wouldn't know that he was stabbed because he had so many tattoos.
How did that affect you when you see something like that? You're 18 years old. How long had you worked in the prison until that had happened?
I had probably been working in it for about a year and a half at that point.
Okay. So it probably you saw other things that kind of built up to that?
Yeah, but seeing a kid almost the same age as you like that, it opens your eyes. It makes you look at life a little differently. That was my final straw that I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't for me. So, dealing with it, I tried going back home, went back home, and I had seen some friends that I haven't seen in a while because I was in Texas at this point. And one of my really close friends, he had, Arkansas is a really bad drug issue. Most of the people I grew around, like I said, I wasn't in a good crowd, so I would try to go back and see him. And we went to Waffle House, 2 a.m. He took a pill. We didn't realize he took it. And he OD'd on fentanyl over his waffles, and I'm holding his head up trying to keep him breathing. And it one thing after another, and we kind of stepped out of it.
The murder in the prison was this, the fentanyl overdose. Did that occur after you were done at the prison?
No, I had went home on 4 days, on like a 4-day stretch. My time, I had worked 3 days on, 4 days off, 4 days on, 3 days off. And it was my time to go off, and I had just seen that, so I was trying to go kill steam back at home, and then that happened whenever I was there. And it was a rough month, I would say.
And you're not even 20 years old, and you experienced two traumatic events, almost back to back, so to speak. How did that affect you? Is it something that keeps you up at night? Is it something that you still think about today?
Yeah, I see that guy's face.
You do?
Yeah. And I try not to think about it. Whenever it does come up, I try to focus on something else.
Yeah.
But,
So, okay, then you, at what point did you end up in North Dakota? That was about...
It was right after that, probably about 2 or 3 months. I came back home for a little bit, and I worked in an animal shelter trying to rehabilitate myself in a way. And then I got a call from a buddy that was up here and was like, hey, we're making great money, and they provide housing. Come on. And at the time, I wanted to get as far away as possible from that
I'm
place.
sure.
So I took off up there and up here, and been here since. So.
Okay, that was about 2022 you move up here?
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you meet your fiance?
2 years ago now.
Okay. Is she from North Dakota?
Yeah, she's originally from up here.
Okay. We should mention, too, that anytime I bring this up, I see the gleam in your eye. I've met your sons. You have two twins.
Yep.
You have a set of twins.
Yes, sir.
How old are they now?
There'll be 3 in October.
You're busy around the house, huh? You also told me they were part of your exercise program. What?
Yeah. Whenever, so the boys were born in October, and I had gotten off as a floor hand and started working at Baker Hughes as an ESP tech, and I got hit in the head with a pipe wrench.
Okay.
And through all that, we had to go through physical therapy. It was a lot that we had to do, but I would take the boys to physical therapy, and we would use them as exercise equipment while I sat there and did therapy.
So that's why you got those beefy arms, huh?
Oh, that's from throwing pipe.
Throwing pipe and raising boys. Yeah. Wow. And what does your wife do?
Right now, she has her master's in teaching. She's a fifth grade math and science teacher
in
over
Dickinson.
in South Hart.
Oh, South Hart. Okay.
Yep, she starts this coming school year.
Okay.
But she does catering and bartending on the side. So.
Okay, so a brain injury, which we'll talk more about here in our next segment. Also, you've had the experience of watching 2 people die in front of your eyes. And then a traumatic event occurred in your life, and there was a divine intervention. So when we come back, Christian, we're going to talk about that, okay? Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. This is Western Edge Living, presented by CHI, St. Alexius Health, Dickinson. And we're back on Western Edge Living, presented by CHI, St. Alexius Health, Dickinson. We are now statewide, so whichever corner of North Dakota you're watching from, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Our guest today is a young man originally from Arkansas, now makes his home in Dickinson, North Dakota. It's Christian Reeves. You had a heck of a life so far, and we haven't touched on another traumatic event. The brain injury. Talk about that specifically right now. You got hit in the head with what, a pipe wrench?
Yep, 24-inch pipe wrench.
How did that happen?
My boss was trying to help me, but the accidents happened. The tool lost its grip on, or the pipe wrench lost its grip on the pipe, and I went to duck, and it hit me on the left side of my head, right underneath my hard hat. So hard hat didn't do nothing. As soon as I got hit, felt like I was floating on clouds, started throwing up, went to the doctor, they took me to the ER, and yeah, my whole life changed in that instant.
How did it change?
Well, I'm no longer able to do what I used to be able to do. They gave me a disability rating. It's hard for me to do certain movements. I get migraines all the time, and I throw up quite a bit. So it's harder to keep doing what I used to do. And obviously, I was kind of living the lifestyle of, making good money. And, well, I lost all that because I wasn't making that money anymore. So.
Wow. So you have obviously lingering effects from that incident, but didn't slow you down. You have 2 boys you got to raise. You got to do something. So you decided you wanted to start a business.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of what went behind that, we fought workers' comp and long-term disability for about 1.5 years, and during that time, I'm trying to find anything possible because I'm not one to give up, man. I can't.
You don't trust me as such.
Especially raising 2 boys, man. I don't want them to grow up and be like, yeah, my dad's on disability and he sits at home. Like, that's not an option. I need to show them that they can persevere through anything that happens to them by doing it myself. And I dabbled with video editing and graphic design because that was something that I could do, and I wasn't doing too much movement. And now I have a power washing company. I've kind of rehabbed enough to where I can do certain things and it doesn't affect me too bad. Still can't get on ladders, Uh, I get my vertigo
I
gets all
understand
crazy.
that. I can't either. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I own a company now, and we just started up. It's slow, but it's I believe God will give us the work we need to keep going and keep getting by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought up the word God. He's
Absolutely.
a very important element in your life. And it came to be when you sunk to a pretty deep low. Do you want to talk about that? You know what I'm alluding to, right?
Yep.
And then there was an intervention of sorts.
Yeah. So during all that dealing with the brain injury and during changing all that, I mean, I went from being able to provide for my family to not being able to do anything.
So I'm thinking that probably there's some depression that set in,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a gut punch, man.
Yeah.
Whenever you have to rely on your wife to take care of you. And now I'm appreciative of it. I've learned to accept it and deal with it. But at that moment, I turned to alcohol. I didn't want to live. I was ready to end it, and I was about to. And
Yeah, you actually took steps.
yep. And I was about to do it, and out of nowhere, my buddy who I haven't talked to in months just calls me out of nowhere and just kind of, I don't know how, but he knew something was up, and he kind of talked me through it. And my brain, I work with logic better than emotion, and he was just kind of like, give it 3 years and try to improve your life. Like, you have to actively try to improve your life, and if it's still the same where you're at right now, then go ahead and do it, and I'll understand. But you have to actively make a difference. And I looked at that as a sign. Like, why did he call me at that moment, right whenever I'm about to lose service out in the hills? Like, what is the odds someone from Arkansas that I haven't talked to in a while call me out of nowhere and talk me through that and kind of be an angel for me in that moment?
Okay, let me get the picture straight here. You're driving out to the Badlands, right?
Yep.
You're planning to end your life. And just before you're going to lose cell service, your buddy calls you. Did you tell him at that point what was going on?
He dug, and he knows me really well, and he kind of sensed it.
Even after all those times, the time that you hadn't spoken with him,
Yeah.
he still
I think he heard it in my voice. I was low.
Wow. So coming back from that, man, you had to just, I can't imagine what went through your mind through that. What were the chain of events after he talked to you off that ledge?
I actively started trying, and just little things kind of kept appearing. Like at the time of the injury, I was with the kids' mom. We're no longer together. Shortly after that, we were going through a rough patch, and she was saying she's leaving, and she's just going to stay at the house for a little bit until she can find a place. Well, that was during that moment, and probably a week later, she wakes me up on a Sunday morning and is like, hey, today's the day I'm packing up and I'm moving out. And again, someone who I haven't talked to in a little bit that I used to work with in the oil field calls me out of nowhere and says, hey, you want to go to church? Not even 30 seconds after she told me that. And I jumped out of bed and I went. And I bawled my eyes out, and that's kind of where my relationship with God started getting stronger. I feel like, because I finally was like, okay, you win. What do you want me to do? Like, what do you want from me? And it's been challenging. I'm not saying life is easy. It's not, but it has led me to where I'm at today, and I have a beautiful family and a beautiful wife, and we have a roof over our head, and I'm making just enough to keep food on the table a little bit, and she works her butt off, man. She's been taking care of me. When she met me, I was in my buddy's basement, still fighting workers' comp and disability, not making any money, trying to find little things to get into. But that woman and her love is something I've never seen before.
Wow, that is an amazing story, and that's what you started talking about when we met at Prairie Winds Church. And I just knew that, this is a story that needed to be told. If we can reach one person,
Yeah.
and he can relate to what you're saying and understand what you've gone through and understand how God came into your life, I think we're doing our job, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I've hit my rock bottom. Other people's look different, but I promise you, even if you don't believe in God and you have a hard time with it and you don't want to talk to him, whatever, what does it hurt to sit there and yell at him? Because that's what it started for me. I was so angry. I just started yelling at him. I said, "What do you want? Why are you doing this to me?" And I didn't see the bigger picture, and it's led me to where I'm at now. And it's honestly a beautiful thing looking back on it, and it's not an easy path, but I 100% believe he listens, and he
gave
you.
From my perspective, he gave you a beautiful fiance.
Yeah.
Cora, is that her name?
Yes, ma'am.
Cora.
Yep.
And 2 beautiful sons.
Yep, Asher and Oakley.
He's given you drive,
Yep.
to start your power washing business. And he also tapped into your creative side with the T-shirt business. Tell
Yep.
us about that.
Well, it's kind of in the works right now. I enjoy doing graphic design, and I don't know. I made this one shirt. It's Romans. Let me pull it up. Make sure.
You've got some beautiful shirts that you've done. I've seen the images that you've shared with me, and you do wonderful work with that. But you got some that have a scripture on them.
Yep.
Okay.
And this scripture, it's Romans 8:38 through 39, and it has a QR code on the back of your shirt, and it doesn't say anything. The front has a cross, and it says the scripture. But when you scan that QR code, it will bring you.
Okay.
Hang on.
To a website, right? Well, yeah, if it's a QR code.
Yep, it goes to a Bing page of that Bible verse.
Okay.
And I mean, curiosity killed the cat, and people are going to scan it. And it basically says, like, no matter where you're at in life, God loves you and wants you to come to him.
Is that the takeaway today?
That is a takeaway.
That's the takeaway.
And
wow.
And from doing this and doing that, I mean, hopefully we reach the person that needs to hear this. And I mean, it wasn't easy coming on here. I don't like talking about my past. I don't like bringing it up.
Wonderful. You did wonderful. I'm glad we had coffee first. Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah.
Where can we find that T-shirt?
It's not up yet.
Okay.
We're in the works of
You
building
let us
the
know.
website.
We will post it on our Facebook page where you can find that T-shirt. Christian, this has been wonderful. You've lifted me up. You're going to lift other people up, and that's the mission, right?
Yep.
That's the takeaway. That's the mission. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. I
Absolutely.
know you're out of your comfort zone, but you did wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Our guest today, Christian Reeves, here on Western Edge Living, presented by CHI St. Alexius Health Dickinson. Thanks so much for watching.
Western Edge Living.